What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Skinny Moose,
What's up?
and we brought on the sleezye E for an interview. So let's hop right into it. What made you become a wrestler and a promoter?
All right, well, I'll tell you all about that, but first let me tell you guys, thank you so much for having me on. Skinny Moose, my man Sloth, it's great to be here. All the loyal fans listening, I appreciate y'all's time, but bro, I became a wrestler because it's all I ever wanted to do. It's the only thing I probably could have ever done. I'm in retrospect, I'm 32 now, and I think back, there's probably plenty of things. If I put the drive that I have into professional wrestling anywhere else, probably would be doing pretty good. But no, man, since 5 years old, I've been hooked on it. And I went to my first independent show whenever I was like 8 or 9. There was a promotion across from Sonic. And I went, and that was the first time that I realized, like, oh, shit, this is there's more than like WWF and WCW and all that, And I said, there's people around here doing that. I said, yep, it's over with. And then I had no other choice at that point. It took me a long time to get to where I could train. A lot of people started training before they were 18. But I just did a bunch of video work whenever I was young. Wrestling got me into video work, and the video work got me into stunts. I got the jackass symbol tattooed right there, random hero. So I did stunts because I couldn't get into wrestling just yet. And then it took me forever to started training. And then I refereed for about 10 years, announced on and off during that time. And then finally had my first match, but I'm from Arkansas, man. There's not tons of death matches. We have a couple of death match guys, a couple of hardcore guys, but most of these things are family friendly down here in Arkansas. Things are changing for sure. But
Hell yeah.
For a long time it wasn't. So I wrestled for 5 years before I was even able to start some death match stuff. And so and honestly, when it comes down to me promoting it came out of a necessity because most people aren't going to be booking death matches. And honestly, I love no ring. I love no ring wrestling. I really believe in it, and I love it. And I started running those no ring shows, and I said, "Fuck it, let's just do the stuff that other people really aren't doing around here."
Hell yeah, you and Cash should hook up and do a fucking no ring show. Custom of Valentine.
Bro, I've been in talks with him for a while. I mean, that's the goal, to bring the Godfather of American, no ring, modern American no ring.
Yeah, the innovator, the innovator.
That would be the blessing right there. And like he's contacted me, and just the fact that he's complimented what we're doing means the world, you know what I mean? And so we're in talks, Buddy Badcock and him. We're planning on a little something between them. There's a place called the Rev Room in Little Rock, big rock venue downtown Little Rock, and we're hoping to set something up between them there with a big show. So we'll see, man. That would be really cool. But we're trying to build the deathmatch no ring scene around here in Arkansas.
That's what we need to do down here in Kentucky, but our athletic commission won't let us. So
yeah,
fuck you, Jim Cornette.
Dude, the athletic commission is bullshit. Like we had one until rest in peace, Rockin' Ricky Rowland, my main man, my brother. He went to war with him. He's a promoter, and he ran the wrestling right down the road from me for a long time. And the thing was, the commission, everybody's having to pay that money. Everybody, I mean, it is good. I like the fact that everybody was getting some blood work done, even though nobody could bleed, whatever. But they would come into your show, and just because they showed up on a whim, you got to pay them $250. And like that could be the PO for everybody that night, boom. And so Rockin' Rick went to war with him, and he actually went to the Capitol, and he was able to get wrestling taken out of the Arkansas Athletic Commission.
Fuck yes. Fuck yes.
The no ring death match. I'm a big fan of the no ring death match.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and dude, what was it like having the first no ring death match in Arkansas? My question.
Man, that's a good question, because it was I don't want to call it a heavy burden, but I mean, it was a heavy task. It was a heavy task, and honestly, I believe in like you can do anything with no ring. We can have comedy matches, we can have good brawls, or even some cool lucha or flying stuff with a no ring type thing to a
That's
certain.
true.
But when
Yeah.
it comes to a no ring death match, when you're fucking with a no ring death match, and in my opinion, if we're gonna do this, I'm gonna be sending it out to as many people as I can, and just letting people know what we can do. So I asked the guy who actually brought me into the wrestling business, Deadly Dale. You know, he gave me my first job. I was 9 or 10 years old and had this old like huge camera, and I was filming some dumb videos, and he saw some of my videos, and he was like, "Bro, if you'll film one of my matches, I know you're at the show. You know, I'll hook you up." I said, "Hell yeah," you know. So he brought me in, and then at that time he wasn't. He was on a break from wrestling. But he was really ready to do that, you know, for me because he
Yeah,
knew how much it meant to
get
me.
back in it.
Yeah, yeah, and like, man, the guy could
That's cool.
wake up out of a dead sleep and do a death match. He's got hardcore in his blood, you know. But the thing was, he brought me in, you know, and so it was a proving ground. He knew what it was, I knew what it was, but we both had the agreement that, bro, we're gonna have to like throw it all out there. And listen, here's the deal when it comes to death matches. I'll be the first fucking person to say I'm not the toughest guy. I'm not gonna be the dude that's gonna do the wildest spot or do this or that. I'm very picky when it comes to stuff because I've been doing dumb shit for like 20 years now, almost professionally. So I pick and choose. But that was a time where I had to throw it all against the wall, you know what I mean? And it was out on a field, bro. It's at an art studio. My good buddy Jose, he does our shirts and stuff like that. And we do our no ring stuff there, man. So the thing was with the first one, we had a little, we had a couple of tarps. And then we thought it'd be cool to like hold it down with some logs, real Arkansas style.
Yeah.
Man, like first bump, hit my head on the log and stuff, so we wasn't gonna be kicking it there for long. But then once you start bleeding, bro, you're all I
I got that alcohol across the back.
bro, and it was so funny because I was planning to do a fireball in that match, and that's why we had it there. But like that was just out of my mind. Like we didn't get around to it, and he picked that shit up, and first of all, I didn't know what he was going to do. I said, listen, I thought I was going to do something with the fire. You know what I'm saying? And then he said, oh, no, bro, just a little bit.
He takes it, he looks at it, he goes, okay, and then just does it on the back. What kind of light tubes do y'all use in that match? Was it TH or T5s?
It was T12s.
Those was some skinny ass T12s.
Man, no, listen. It was skinny because it was swung so fucking fast whenever you. I have stills. No shit. Where that bulb was bent. Like, because
They
it was.
he murdered your fucking back in that match.
Boom, and that was like towards the beginning. So then we just kept rocking, and honestly, that was gonna be the only tube spot. But then towards the end, we had to keep going through some stuff, and he said, "Grab the other tube." I said, "Damn." Honestly, I had no idea how bad my back was. I mean, I assumed, but it didn't stop me from rolling around in the dirt and shit like that. And yeah, dude. So to answer your question, it was pretty tough, and dude, it was literally 101 degrees out. It was the middle of August in central Arkansas, out on grass. So it was brutal, man, but we had to make it count.
Awesome, brother. That's
How
cool.
did you get your name Sleazy?
My good buddy Austin Pry, God bless his soul, man. We grew up doing stunts together, and you know, when you're young, we're all dirty dogs. And he said, man, instead of easy, they should call you sleazy. And I said, man, that shit's funny. And we like laughed about it in high school, but like that didn't ever really stick. Like I never really had a nickname. He called me that, and then right after high school, we've all spent some time with some homies puffing on something, doing some freestyles. So I had to have a rap name, and so we brought my rap name back, Sleezye. My boy Jack the Ripper, he said, bro, he said, Austin used to call you Sleazy. He said, that might as well be it. And then I was reffing at that point, and I had the opportunity to announce, and I had to find like a gimmick or whatever. I said, I'm just going to be Sleazy, SLEEZ to the Y to the E, baby.
Well, that works. I like it.
Yep.
Uh, so, have you ever thought about colliding with another promotion? Collabing?
Bro, that's something that I've been trying to get popping because I I take pride. Like I run my own shows, but like I do all kinds of different stuff for other promotions around here in Arkansas. Like I'm never doing the same job at every show, you know. And then, but I've been wanting to try and get like a promotion from out of Arkansas here, just for the flavor, you know what I mean? Santa Chiva, we're thinking about doing like a Santa Chiva promotions no ring because he does a bunch of no ring in Texas and stuff like that. And listen, if Cass comes to Little Rock, there's no doubt that if it's okay, it'll be a New Fear City uh, collaboration. You know, we'll
Oh
do,
yeah,
you know, because that's what it's all about. At this point, we all have to collaborate and we all have to work together because you see what other companies are doing now, collaborating and just
that's
really
true.
making
That's
the most
true.
out of everything.
I mean, that's true.
Yep.
So,
You kind of answered. I was going to ask what it was like working with Deadly Dell, and you kind
Bro,
of.
I didn't even get started on Deadly Dale.
I
How much of Deadly Dale stuff have you saw?
saw like a bunch of it. I saw you and Deadly Dale in the backyard. I seen you and Deadly Dale, him get wrapped up in barbed wire. Um, I seen a video not too long ago of you and him in a ring. I think I seen one of him holding a belt and you trying to call him out for it. I might be wrong.
That was Brad. That was main event Bradley, but it was same place there in Tuckerman. But the thing is,
Uh,
Deadly Dale, he's the guy that if there was anything that ever a big bang that started, there's always been hardcore type wrestling, but for anybody to pop off in the scene, it was Deadly Dale, and I mean, he was a dude that brought me in, you know, so we're a lot alike, but his dad, he's a second generation wrestler. His dad's name is the Enforcer, hardcore legend, bro. I grew up watching his dad wrestle. He'd come out and fill the ring with all kinds of weapons, hitting people, and then towards the end, he there just became a thing, nacho cheese. He'd scream out nacho cheese, and someone would come, usually me if I could, and he would have like a hot thing of chips and nacho cheese, and he would just shove it right in their face, dog. And it was my fucking favorite thing growing up. And so then I linked up with Dale, but Dale, man, he was in Prince of the Death Matches, King of the Death Matches, I think 2014, 15, something like that. So he went and did those. Like it was
that's
insane because all of a sudden, like within a year, he main evented JCW with Necro Butcher
yeah.
at Pop, and then he
Oh,
went and did Prince of Death Matches, King of the Death Matches, and man, he's just he is as tough as they fucking come, bro. I'll tell you that, and I'm proud to know him. But yeah, Deadly Dale, fucking tough dude, and whenever you're wrestling him, motherfucker, you're fighting for your life.
Yes, sir. Where did you get the idea for the fireballs? I mean, I know you're a Terry Funk fan. I've seen that, but was
Oh,
it like from Funk or was it from like Shadow WX?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Man, I've been blowing fireballs since I was like, whenever I grew up doing stunts, that was like one of the things that I could do. So, and I don't even do it. Like, I think people who really are like super good at it and do it either professionally, they use like lamp oil and some other things like that. I just use like the fucking strongest rubbing alcohol possible. And I grew up doing them, and I always tried to fit one into just like a match, but never could. And then once I started doing the no ring stuff, especially when we're outside, I said, "Oh yeah, I'm going for this." It's just trying to fit it in and make it make sense.
Oh yeah. So,
Mhm.
have you ever thought about working for like IWA Deep South or X Brand?
Man, that would be pretty cool. Currently, I'm not. I'm taking a break from wrestling. I'm not. Listen, I wrestled for like 7 years, bro.
Yeah.
For 2 years, I worked my ass off doing death matches, running the no ring shows, trying to build something. And at a certain point, my body was kind of like, bro, you can keep doing this, or your quality of life's gonna probably be shit. You won't be able to like. Then I really started to see the potential of what was growing. You know what I mean? It was a struggle getting the shit popping, and so then to see the fruits of it and kind of like I built a lot of it on my own back, and there's only so like I said, I'm not the fucking toughest guy, but I've been in wrestling for a long time. And I've done a bunch of stupid shit to my body for a long time. And so for the foreseeable future, I won't be like wrestling, but that doesn't mean I can't do other stuff. But like announcing, reffing, fucking helping produce, put me on the ring crew, boys. But one of my dreams is going to Carnage Cup one of these days. Especially now that it's in Tennessee, I really don't think it's super far from me. I've looked it up.
Fuck yeah, I love fucking Carnage Cup. I was out at 14.
Yeah, oh yeah, dude. I mean, I bet it's a time of your life.
Oh yeah, you'd fucking love it. You'd love it. Uh, so what is your worst injury or major one?
Mm, you know, when it comes down to it, if you want my 2 cents on like the shittiest stuff when it comes to wrestling, maybe it makes me a bitch. It's shots to the head because you can get your bell rung, but bro, after a while, it just gets worse and worse. But that's not quite the injury. I'm cool on that. It's just if I had to say, and I've taken some horrible bumps and stuff, but I feel like I've fucking pickled and calloused myself up enough to where like bumps is just like second nature. Maybe I can just disassociate with the adrenaline or what the fuck ever. But shots to the head suck. Honestly, probably that tube, my man. That tube sliced me up pretty damn good. Then I fell on that barbed wire twice, and I had dirt and grass and glass and all kinds of shit up in my back, and cleaned it out with a garden hose, and went to my buddy's house that was a surgical tech. Dale had to end up going to the hospital. He got like fucking 50, 60 stitches, and then I went to my buddy. He's a surgical tech. I thank God I have insurance now. Not like it would actually help, but like at that point, I had no insurance or nothing. And I said, well, I definitely can't go to the hospital. And my wife said, motherfucker, you better call Jacob right now. We went over to his house, and it took him about an hour and a half to like clean it with different shit. He glued it up, taped it up, bandaged it up, and then I had my back bandaged for like at least a week or two.
Shit.
I mean, the tubes are no fucking joke. Hey, there are ways to use them that are probably much easier than just swinging it 100 miles an hour straight at someone's back in the blistering heat. But that's what had to happen.
Yeah, I took a light tube across the back. It was I took one. It sliced my back, but I still got the scar.
Oh,
It fucking hurt. Then I got burnt. Now that one wasn't on purpose. I kind of fell, and the goddamn hot coffee burnt my side. Second degree, borderline third.
yeah, that doing.
Yeah, I healed up pretty well. I think. I think it's pretty much just one big pink red patch. So
Now,
you
what
know.
exactly happened? I couldn't.
So
What?
so I was cooking cowboy coffee. It's like coffee on the stove,
Mm.
and I had the oven door down, and somehow or another I fucking fall into the oven. Well, when I go to get up, the oven flips and the coffee comes tumbling down. And
Oh, holy
the
shit!
way it should have got me, it should have got from my head my hair all the way back down, and it should have like put me in the hospital for days, but it didn't.
Oh yeah.
So I looked at my wife and I was like, I fucking shot out because it got my whole fucking side, my waist down, around my ass. It got my fucking ass. My asshole was fucking burnt, but I could, still do whatever. But my
Yeah.
fucking side was burnt. Oh, it got my leg, my foot. Man, I was in hell. So I shot through the fucking house, trying to get my pants off. Those motherfuckers wasn't coming off. I was pulling and trying to rip them off.
Oh.
I was like, well, I work with deathmatch wrestlers. Let me rip these motherfuckers off. Couldn't get them off. So I'm just like, finally I decided to stick both hands in each pocket, make a fist, and rip them motherfuckers off. And by the time I looked back, I was bubbled up. I had to go to the fucking
Oh,
hospital.
dude.
And I'm not a fan of hospitals, so I had to go to the
No.
hospital. They gave me some burn cream and shit. And I was down for like 2 or 3 weeks, a month. All December I was down. And finally I fucking healed up. And I was like, now I won't make coffee at home, but I'll go to the store and buy coffee. I'm like, fuck that shit.
Totally understandable, man. PTSD, bro.
It,
I mean, that shit would have broke my heart. I bet it burnt. My feelings would have been so fucking hurt. Like, I bet it was traumatic, dude.
it traumatized, I have a 1-year-old, like I said, it traumatized her. She really don't fuck with coffee anymore. My son won't even touch coffee. He's a 5-year-old. It traumatized him. And it traumatized my wife.
Oh, I
Like,
bet.
yeah,
Dude.
it was bad, bro. It was bad. Like, the ambulance was out here. My mom had to go to the hospital with me. I couldn't wear no really, like, pants or whatever. I had to wear loose ass clothes. I had to wear like certain shirts and shit. It was hell. I couldn't sleep on my left side or my left side because that's the side that I burnt. So I had to keep this side up. And I have my little one. She has a bad habit of climbing on me to wake me up in the morning.
Yeah.
So that was a no go. Couldn't bend down to pick up my kids. It was just the bandages kept coming off. I couldn't take a fucking shower. Oh, my whole fucking left side, when my wife peeled that shit off, she was like, started puking. Because, like, you could always, like, spray it. You couldn't even, like, sponge bathe it. But when I actually got in the shower, oh, my God.
Dude.
Nobody was coming in the bathroom. It was so bad. Like, even me changing it twice a day when it was time to actually wash it and put water on it where it wouldn't hurt. Oh, God. As soon as that smell hit the water, bro, it was instantly. I was like, I don't even know if
every nerve just started screaming, I bet.
It didn't really hurt, but God. Everybody's like, did you cry? I was like, no, I didn't cry. I whined, but I didn't have no tears in my fucking eyes.
Oh, I'm always going to whine. I'm going to bitch and moan no matter what.
But it really wasn't that bad, actually. Would I do it again? Fuck no.
No.
We
live and learn.
I'm always been more towards fire. I'll play with fire. I've been burnt before. My wife will tell you I'm a fucking fire fanatic. But the outcome, I do not like getting burned.
No, but
I'm a dumbass.
Play with fire, you get burned.
At least once a month, I will burn my fucking clothes or I'll burn my goddamn hair or some stupid shit. Not even on purpose. Give me 1 second. Let me go grab my computer charger.
That's cool, bro. What up, Sloth? Where do you live at, bro?
Ashland, Kentucky.
Oh, both of you from Kentucky. Hell yes.
Yeah, dude.
You ever been to Arkansas before?
I've been through it.
Hell yeah, I've been through Kentucky. I've been to Paducah.
Paducah?
I think that's just right on the line.
Yeah, it's kind of. I've been to Paducah. You said you were a big Jackass fan, right?
Bro, my whole life. What about you?
Me too, dude. I love Jackass. Like, go ahead.
No, I was saying fuck yeah. Yeah, me too. You go ahead.
Who's your favorite, I guess, member of Jackass? Or do you have one?
Bro, I would have to say Ryan Dunn would be my favorite, my personal favorite, but that's just like I got a little emotional connection, because I don't know, he just seemed like a nice guy, even though shit went pretty awry for him. But I would have to say, what's fucked up because you have your favorites, but now all the Jackass guys are in different types of situations, so it's kind of hard to say. I loved Bam growing up, but Brandon DiCamillo, you know, man, I thought Bam was like the coolest fucking person in the world growing up. Like Johnny Knoxville was really cool, but I couldn't relate to him. But I said, man, Bam Margera is the fucking man.
That's so awesome, man. I totally agree. I was a band dude too.
Hell yeah! Did you ever watch the CKY videos?
Love CKY.
Hell yeah, that's what's up. Same.
Awesome.
CKY came and played in Memphis here recently. They were doing a tour, and I tried my fucking damnedest just to try and get some kind of no ring match booked there. And the people were like, "That's cool, but it's probably not going to happen." Just because I thought if somehow I could tie CKY into some wrestling shit, like that would be something. What's up, bro? Did you get your
Shit.
charger?
Yeah, I finally got the charger. So I see you have many tattoos. What's your most meaningful one?
Oh man, if I had to say, it would be my wife's name right there, and that's her handwriting. She wrote that with like a old school ink pen. You know what I mean? A little Bible verse, and iron sharpens iron. I got that the day I proposed to her, and like I proposed to her, and then I said, "Oh yeah, check this shit out," and everybody's like,
That's cool.
they're like,
I
"What
like
if
it.
you said no?" I said, "That's the risk I was willing to take, motherfucker. That's the gimmick." Yeah, I
I
didn't
like it.
say,
So what's the most brutal weapon you've ever used?
bro. Number one, we're all just gonna have to put tubes at the very top in any form or capacity. But I am a big fan of the gusset plate. Honestly, maybe a little too reliant for a little while, but hey, who doesn't like it? I mean, it's instant color. But I would say a gusset plate, 2x4 gusset plate. Boom, because that's all it takes.
I'm not really a fan of the Gustafs. I know what they could do to people. John Wayne Murdoch got his arm fucking
Yeah,
mauled by Alex.
that was
Um,
slightly an inspiration, if I have to admit.
the gusset plate fork board that you used against, I think it was Deadly Dell.
Bro, and it was both sides. That was cool. Thanks for
That
bringing
was
it
pretty
up.
fucking intense. That was
Yeah,
pretty
the forks.
intense.
The forks. I said, hey, these forks are a nice touch.
So who gave you a run for your money?
Deadly Dale.
Deadly Dell.
Deadly Dale. He fucking did. But honestly, and listen, when it comes down to it, man, he didn't give me a run for my money, but uh I was on my fucking P's and Q's when I worked Madman Pondo. Like, I worked Madman Pondo in Memphis, and like just the fact that I can say that is one of those things. It's like, peace out. There's so many nights that I've just laid in bed watching Madman Pondo matches, just like on mute. Like that's what I do, like because my wife will go to sleep or whatever. I'll just mute that shit and throw some deathmatch on. But actually, you guys ever listen to Mud Show?
Yeah.
Got their fucking shirt right here.
Hell yeah.
I can see if I got the fucking poster right here, right there. Matt Tremont, AJ
Oh,
Gray, main
fuck
event,
yes.
Mud Show. It was their album release show for Destiny album about Matt Tremont, motherfucking sleazye and Madman Pondo, bro. Like that was just super meaningful for me. Didn't quite give me a run for my money, but that was when I knew Motherfucker, we're in deep waters with the real fucking deal. And hey, I brushed shoulders with, I refed, honestly. If I knew I was in deep water, it was when it wasn't even actually in a match where I wrestled. It would be whenever I refed, because I refereed the Southern Sickness Cup in Memphis for Trainwreck at the very first one. And bro, I wasn't ready. I was ready. That was my dream to even be at a deathmatch tournament. And I refed it with John Gray. Bro, it was the best of the best there. And just being in the ring with them and just watching and learning.
You marked out.
Bro, I marked out, but they had us fucking working so hard I didn't have time for it, man. It was just it was crazy. We had Matt Tremont there, Cass was there, Marcus Crane was there, fucking all kinds of folks, and just I had been around some deathmatch because I started going to some shows in the Midwest or Illinois. that's the Midwest for old hillbilly here. And so we went up there, and that's the first time I saw Madman Pondo and Too Tough Tony in person, and saw some deathmatch shit in person. That's where Dale and them was doing that. Otto Bane and Uncle Filthy, all the LSD guys, and labeled social deviants.
Yeah.
And so, man, and that was just a dream of mine, just to be a part of it. And then I said, eventually, I'm gonna get that shit fucking popping somehow. And maybe it may not go anywhere, but I said I'm at least gonna do my due diligence. And then the dudes from fucking Mud Show, they're running deathmatch in Memphis now. They're starting some shit, and so Mid-South deathmatch, brother.
Hell yes. So Manny Fan was wondering if you would wrestle Jeff the Hitman Hart from IWA Deep South.
Bro, if Jeff the Hitman Hart even thought about stepping in the ring with the sleaze ball, if he caught one fucking whiff of that right there, old boy would be out in 2 seconds. If Jeff the shitman Shark wants to come up to the SLEEZ to the Y to the E, let's do it.
Oh shit. So what's one thing a fan can always expect when he wrestles you?
Man, if we're in a ring, I'm probably going to give you a Bronco Buster. Just off top. Just off top in any match, I'm probably going to give you a Bronco Buster, and I'm probably going to pinch your nipples in a test of strength.
I could see him pinching Masada's nipples. Or Bryant Wood's nipples. You imagine that shit?
Listen, that was my bit, though. Like, listen, before I was able to do deathmatch, like, comedy wrestling was my... And, like, I'm going to butt my ass off for you. That's one thing. Maybe not as much as anymore. I can't do it as much, but for the most part, if I'm working a match with you, I'm gonna be bumping my ass off. Probably too much.
Sleezye versus Boris Dookie.
Boris Dookie?
Yeah.
Listen, I come out to ooh that smell. I make shit smell like roses, baby.
We need him in the Deep South. So, is there anyone that you would like to call out?
Maybe some people I want to shout out.
Well, that's for here in a little bit. We'll save that for the end of the video. That's what the end's for.
What is it? What like call out? What
like
you
for
mean?
a match.
I ain't trying to call anybody out, but I will say if anybody's trying to fucking get booked in Arkansas and come do some death matches, holler at me. Holler at me. Because Natural State
Okay.
Wrestling, we're doing family shows, benefits, but we're also putting on death matches when the time is right. So we're trying to get some shit popping. And I got some boys here in Arkansas. If motherfuckers want to come and do some death matches, they're sick. Bring it
Oh
on.
yeah. So have you ever held a title? If so, what's the most meaningful one?
That's a funny question. I have never held a title. I wrestled for 7 years full time. Never held a title. Wrestled for a few. Uh, yeah, no, that's it. That's it. That's it.
Your time will come.
Not championship material, Skinny Moose.
Your time will come. Is there anyone you would like to drop? Is there anything you would like to drop? Upcoming shows, promotions, social media, etc.
I would say we don't have everything completely in line, but I will say first weekend in May, there's a heavy metal festival in Cord, Arkansas, and it's from Thursday to Saturday. And on Thursday, we plan on doing a full no ring show there. It's called the Heathen House. And so then the next 2 days, we plan on bringing in talent and getting some of the sickest motherfuckers from Arkansas together for a no ring death match tournament in between all of the bands throughout the whole day. So, fucking Heathen House deathmatch tournament in May. Follow Natural State Wrestling on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Definitely YouTube. If you're on YouTube, if you're on whatever the fuck you're on, just subscribe to the YouTube, bro. I'm adding shit like every day. I had a little vault built up. I have tons of stuff on my sleezye wrestling one. Like
Yeah.
literally everything I've ever done. Pretty much. There's maybe like 2 lost matches, and thank God that they are. Fucking Boogie Woogie Boy, Gary Valiant fucked me up in grubs. But but anyways, man, Natural State Wrestling, follow it, and then we got the big deathmatch thing in May. Couple more things popping. Just follow that.
Follow that.
Hell,
Follow Sleazy.
so what was it like fighting Madman Pondo?
Fucking professional. Just a true professional, and like it's so funny.
Pondo, we've interviewed Pondo. He's well, me and my other partner did Squirrel, and I love Madman Pondo. He's a nut in itself.
Oh, he's an absolute legend, and he's crazy as fuck, you know. Like I've been watching him my whole life, you know, and I've heard a lot of wrestlers say that's not a compliment, you know. But like I've been watching you since I was a kid. They're like, yeah, fuck you, you know. But that's just some of the guys that I grew up around, you know. But Madman Pondo, dude. Once I heard about it, I don't know. It just made me feel really good that someone believed in me to put me with somebody like that. And also, it was in Memphis. Also, it was at the legendary High Tone. But what was it like, bro? I bled like a stuck fucking pig, and I squealed like one too. He
I
got
gotta
me,
agree.
huh?
I gotta agree. I love that match though. You was just screaming while you was doing the saw bit and
Yeah.
everything.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Well, Pondo was, you know, trying to see what I wanted to do. I brought, you know, some weapons and different stuff like that. I even brought some. One of my favorite weapons is a carpet strip kendo stick. I think those motherfuckers are badass. And I had a few of those. We didn't even get around to it because I told him, I said, all I want to do, number one, I mean, I want to fucking take the sign and the sledgehammer, you know. But I said, what I want is to bleed as much as I can, and for you to fucking hack and slash me. You know what I mean? He had his fucking pocket knife, bro, and like it was like a bloodletting all around that fucking building. And then whenever he was done fucking bleeding me out, he busted the concrete on my dick. I rode like a motherfucker, almost tripped him, which is kind of funny, kind of embarrassing, but I was overselling it, and that's what I do. And then he whacked the fuck out of me with that stop sign, and I took a beautiful flat back bump on the concrete, and I laid there in absolute bliss. And
I
fucking
think every,
kissed his boots.
I think everybody that grew up watching either Pondo or Necro wants to fight him. Sloth's brother here is a wrestler, and Drex wanted to fight Pondo, and he finally got it, and he was just like, "Oh my god, I'm so blessed." I mean, like growing up, you know, I've looked up to like Necro Butcher, Pondo, Sabu. Fuck, I even went Sick Nick Mondo. You know, Drake Younger, Devin
Drake
Moore.
Young, one of the best of all time.
I mean, I can go into like Wax. I like his when he's wrestling. And now we got a lot of good ones coming up and going. Little Sicko. I mean, we got fucking.
Little
There's
Sicko's cool. His story is
MM3.
cool. Little Sicko's cool, how he grew up around it and all that stuff like that.
Yes.
Pictures of him and Spider whenever he was a little kid. I said, that's badass.
I love Little Sicko. I've interviewed Little Sicko and his manager.
That dude, you've interviewed everybody. I am part of a illustrious group. I was telling my wife, I said, listen, this motherfucker has interviewed this person, that person, blah blah blah.
Give me 1 second.
That's cool. What's up, Sloth?
What's up, dude?
Who's your favorite wrestler of all time?
Of all time?
Not it doesn't have to be deathmatch, but it could be deathmatch and then non, or if it's the same, whatever.
Well, deathmatch. I was a real big fan of Sick Mondo.
Bro, yeah, his performances are unbelievable.
I love it, dude, especially his.
Fuck it, and his performance in those tournaments and shit like that is just unbelievable. His documentary is crazy.
We was talking about the interviews.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I've interviewed. Oh God, there's a list. I've interviewed practically all the Deep South boys. I've interviewed Mr. Danger from Japan, Takeda, John Wayne Murdoch.
Listen, you've interviewed so many people. You're now interviewing sleazye. That's how you're running out of people, bro. I mean, you got Hoodfoot coming up. I saw that shit.
I got Hoodfoot, JB Anderson, Dmitry Alexandrov.
How many days a week do you?
Practically whenever the hell I just hop on.
As much as you can.
Sometimes it depends.
I understand. Well, you got a catalog though.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We do prediction videos, updates, reviews, interviews. It just have you ever had a rival that turned real life?
Not particularly. I've had a fan jump the rail before.
Oh shit! I heard about that. What the fuck, dude? What?
Bro, and it's funny because like number one, it's always interesting whenever the fan jumps the rail or it gets physical. Like number one, I hate that shit. Like that's like my worst nightmare because like the thing is, if we're out there, whatever the fuck we're doing, if someone comes out here, we don't know if motherfucker has a knife. We don't know what's going on, so we're gonna have to fuck somebody up, and nobody wants to do that. But the funny thing was, this show was in Tuckerman, Arkansas, at the famous Valiant Arena. There's a school where I live now in Searcy called Harding Academy, and it's a Church of Christ school, stuff like that. And they have a group or whatever, fraternity box, whatever. So a bunch of those kids were there, and they all dress up in like number one, it's cool when they're there. They're not all wrestling fans, but they like dress in costumes and they're real loud. So definitely it's fun. It's definitely fun and it's loud. Always fun when they're there. But me and Uncle Filthy came out, One and only time we ever tagged together. We came out, match wasn't even able to start. We walked around the ring, and I've always, I mean, you ever been to a concert where the motherfucker's like drinking water and then he goes, whoom, and
Yeah.
like flings the water out? I said, I'm gonna do that tonight. I said, it may be mad disrespect, but I've had people do that to me at tons of concerts. So I did that, and that didn't like make anybody mad. It was super funny because they were like shocked, and they were like, yeah. And I felt like we had them so riled up. There was these boys that were dressed as nuns, and one of these motherfuckers was super big, and all I saw was the guys we were working was firing them up, whatever, or told them to come, and they walked up to the rail, and I mean, I just instinctively ran over there, and I got in the kid's face, and I guess if you don't usually go to a wrestling show, you don't know when a motherfucker says, if you step over this rail, I'm going to fuck you up. Step over this, see what happens.
Yeah.
He thought he could do it. And literally within seconds, he stepped over. I grabbed him, and Uncle Filthy's big ass was fucking reaching around, throwing him, and shit got broke up and really, really intense.
That's why you don't put your 2 cents where it don't belong.
For sure, dog.
I mean,
For sure, dog.
I learned when I first broke into the business, my dumbass never did anything like that. I respect the business. I respect the art, and I know like y'all what y'all do. So I've seen a motherfucker literally get the beat down.
Sure, yeah. I saw that a couple of times growing up and just knew.
I literally thought it was going to kill me.
Mhm.
I respect the business, so like I can't wrestle. I'm actually talking about it in my documentary. I have a permanent score in my head. I got hit with an aluminum ball bat and did it when I was younger. Fucked up my head. But like I'm like, if I ever step over that guardrail, it's for one reason, because I want to fucking be able to promote my damn self. But other than that, I'm not getting no ring. Maybe a
number
referee.
one, there's tons of things. There's a million different jobs in wrestling. There's a million different jobs. Like there are certain guys that wrestle for 20 years or whatever, but I tell you what, bro, you are sacrificing your whole body by the time you put in 20 solid years. I promise you that. But and then there's some people that are just monsters, and I don't really understand them. But there's tons of different things. What you do is so important, man. What you guys do on with the podcast and either promoting or shit like. And the thing is, it's not just this. Whatever you want to do, as long as you're helping and you're producing and making something happen, there's nothing wrong with it, because there's nothing but room. Nothing but room.
So I noticed that you're a Leonard Skinner fan. What's your favorite song by Leonard Skinner?
I mean, I love That Smell, because that's the song to come out to. And like I mean, if it like comes on the radio or something randomly, or like a playlist or some shit like that, and we're in the car and my wife, it's like she feels like a weird switch in my head, and I'm like, oh, never mind, because it has a brown, and it just like there's something in me like I want to puke and shit and cry up until I walk out, and I hear that and I say, okay, let's do it. But my favorite song,
Mine's Sweet Home Alabama.
that's one of the fucking best ones. I mean, I know, like, I'm such a fan of so much of. Personally, growing up, I love that song. All I Can Do Is Write About It. That's a classic.
I like Freebird too.
I mean, you can't fucking beat Freebird. You can't beat Freebird. Fucking Saturday Night Special. Give Me 3 Steps. That was one of my favorites growing up.
You just can't beat fucking Leonard Skinner.
Man, I thought that song was so much fun.
But now, as I grew up, I started listening and like Upchurch and Adam Cahoon, Tom McDonald, you know. But yeah. I like to listen to a lot of the older country too, like George Jones and.
Oh, you're number one. If you're the first guy you say is George Jones, you're all right with me till the day we die.
I like Hank Williams and I like Hank Jr. I actually took a poll on Facebook, asking people who's better, Hank Jr. or Hank Sr. And well, can't argue with the truth. It's Hank Jr.
Hold on.
I'm a diehard. I like Senior, but you can't. I got to go with Junior's better.
You don't fuck with Hank 3?
Hank the Third's all right. I like Hank the Third. I like him better than his brother. I cannot stand Hank's other son. I fucking hate.
I can't even say I was aware of him, so you're further ahead than me.
Sam something, Sam Williams or something like that. But no,
I'll make
it's
sure not to listen to him.
no. He really like talks about like stupid shit.
Yeah, a lot of folks do.
So when you go to watch TV, what do you normally watch on TV?
I'm a big YouTube fiend. I'm all up on the YouTube, and I will waste and burn my time. But if we're actually talking about TV, if we're watching TV show, Trailer Park Boys. First
Oh
time.
fuck yeah,
First
liquor
thing,
and whores.
first thing, Trailer Park Boys, or we just restarted The Sopranos. That's one of my favorites. But honestly, Trailer Park Boys, every time.
If we're going
Anyway.
TV, I gotta go. Like my Sons of Anarchy.
Oh man, I watched that one time all the way through, and it was an exhilarating show.
I can't tell you how many times I watched it
Do
over
you
and
watch
over.
the new one with the
The
other?
Mayans.
Yeah.
I like Mayans. Fuck. I normally watch wrestling, so I like the Terrifier movies. Funny story about the third one. So I got to watching it, and there was a scene where the motherfucker comes through with the liquid nitrogen, and all of a sudden I grabbed my fucking gun and I like set it, and my gun stays loaded because obviously you get a gun, they're going to tell you in your carry concealed license, they're going to tell you to always keep it loaded because if somebody's trying to break in that moment, you're not going to think of to lock and load it.
Of course.
So I have it put up. And I'm sitting there watching Terrifier, and my wife goes, "What the fuck are you doing, babe?" I said, "Well, if this motherfucker breaks through this goddamn door somehow, some way, he's going to catch fucking 17 full metal jackets in his ass, including another 50 full metal jackets." Shit.
Man,
I'm sitting there watching it.
I haven't even watched those because the horror movies are on a different level. I grew up watching scary movies, man. I'm on the classics. I can't keep up nowadays. That shit is way too fucking weird, and you're not getting in my brain, motherfucker.
Shit, I can watch. I say Terrifier is the only one that's ever got me. Not the Nun, but that because I actually got fucking yeah, it's a story with the nun. I used to do some ghost stuff, and yeah, I don't like nuns.
I understand. You don't gotta dive any further. I understand.
I like The Walking Dead. It's pretty good though. But other than that, I watch a lot of Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty's fun. I'm all about some all kinds of animation. I don't watch anime. That almost sounded like any kind of cartoons. Bob's Burgers, dog. We're on Bob's Burgers so fucking deep. Like you just can't like find a bad episode.
Bob's Burgers.
Bro,
that's more my wife.
Dude, it is.
I was enjoying that goddamn Avatar on Netflix, the live action, but I ain't got a new update on that. So I was like, I hate when people just like do that shit. I'm like, put it all together at once or whatever, I'm like, but what's your biggest match of your career so far? Would you say it's Pondo?
I would definitely say it was Pondo, and then I would tie Dale's right up there with it, simply because the fact that it was him and there was a lot on the line, we had a lot to prove, and it just meant a lot. And honestly, it just popped something off. Like I just had to get some kind of eyes on this area and then start building. So that meant a lot to me. But definitely Pondo. Definitely Pondo, man, especially in Memphis. And couldn't have been cooler.
So how was your days as being a referee?
Dude, I love refereeing. I just ref for the first time in a couple of years, just a few weekends ago, something like that, and it's a blast. And the thing is, you can learn so much whenever you're
That's true.
refereeing. You can learn so much, and honestly, you it, someone can just fill a spot for sure. Someone can wear a ref shirt, but if you really work your ass off, you can help a match be way
Yeah.
better. You can make their job so much better, and you got to make sure those motherfuckers are safe. And there's just so much that you could bring to the table to help a match as a referee. And a good referee is hard to come by. And the guy that trained me, old Danny Jackson, old school referee, But tell you what, refereeing deathmatch is a totally different fucking ball game.
Yeah.
But refereeing, I think it's a very valuable uh, skill, trade to have in the business. And I had a lot of fun reffing the. Oh, here's a cool story. Have you ever watched Anify Underground?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in Illinois. I worked a handful of their shows reffing, and it might have been. I'm pretty. Nope, it was a different show. Two stories from that one refereeing. The first one, uh, trying to figure out which was the first and the second. It really doesn't even fucking matter. So the first one, I refereed Madman. And so speaking of Pondo, the first time I met him, I was taking pictures. It was at a promotion called Strictly Insane, and it's in Illinois. That was the first time I went up north, and so I took some pictures at that show. Then I refereed his match with Atticus, and I got
Oh,
skewered by Atticus at the end of it.
you're the ref.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude. That's cool that you saw that.
You're the ref.
Hey,
Oh my.
I'm not one to like throw my cents in, especially whenever I'm reffing. Like, dude, I don't give a fuck. Whatever we're doing, I'm there to help. But that night, I said, and I saw their promos. I said the whole gimmick is the skewers for this match. Like, I mean, obviously that is Atticus's gimmick, but that's what their promos was about. I said, man, if you're gonna turn him into a porcupine in the match, then like, will you skewer me? So. And hey, that motherfucker did not hesitate.
How was it being scared by Atticus? Like, what do you think about Atticus?
Listen, that dude is a peculiar individual. And I mean that in a good way because he's very professional and he was completely respectful and stuff, but he's an intense dude. He's an
That
intense
motherfucker is crazy.
bro. He's an intense guy, but like I wasn't trying to like fucking shoot the shit with him. So I was like, is there anything that you need of me, sir? I said, are you sure you want to skewer me? Is that okay? And Pondo said, man, don't worry about it, bro. Usually we have to talk people into that type of shit. I said, okay, cool. But so that happened, and it might have been at the next show. Pondo was wrestling Schlack, and
Oh fuck.
this was right around the time Necro was first coming. It was before I think he really had any matches, and he was just managing. And it was whenever he first started doing like the MAGA gimmick and shit like that.
Is that when Pondo broke his ribs?
Bro, he might have.
I think so.
I'm not sure. But I was standing there watching that, like I just did my first match, and then I said, bro, I got it. I was standing there right by the curtain, and I said, I gotta watch Pondo and Schlack's match. I said, this is the coolest fucking thing in the world. And then Necro like walked up and like stood beside me, and I said, dude, fucking play it cool, play it cool. And I was sitting there watching the match. I said, we were just talking about it, blah blah blah. Coolest fucking thing in the world. So that was an early day. Let's just say that was an early day. I think call time was at noon, so we had to leave Arkansas at like 8. Whenever I ref, I like to have a good time, and let's just say I had a few beers, maybe
with, with the
maybe a good
legend.
maybe a good 12-pack before the ring was set up. But who's counting? I mean, we were there for fucking 12 hours. So then Pondo, or not Pondo, fucking Necro, towards the end of the show, blah blah blah, we're all standing around, doing whoop de whoop, about to start breaking some shit down, and Pondo, or fucking Necro, is about to roll out. So Necro has his 30-pack, and there's like two up top, and the whole bottom row is still in there. And I'm pretty sure it was Busch Light. And fucking, I asked this dude, I said, "You think Pondo will give me one of those beers?" He said, "Oh yeah."
Necro.
No, he just went right over there and said something, and then Pondo, or Jesus Christ, what's wrong with me? I fucking got a hard on for Pondo or something like that. Necro comes over there, and he's like, "You want one of these beers?" And I said, "Yes, sir, if you don't mind." And he was like, "This young man appreciates a good beer. Here you go, son," and gave me the like 15 fucking beers. I mean, I think he was done for the night. He was ready to go to sleep. It was a long fucking day.
I
But
fucking love Necro.
bro, Necro Butcher gave me half a 30-pack. I mean, obviously I drank it, but it took me a couple of days. Like I just fucking held it in my fridge for a while. I said, well, I should have gotten him to fucking sign it or something, but I can't be that big of a fucking mark. So I rode home with Necro Butcher's beer with me. I said, this is probably going to be like my coolest story that I ever have.
Fuck yeah, I love that. So, who's your biggest rival?
I'd probably have to say William Blackwell. I've probably had the most matches against William Blackwell. Our main event Bradley. Me and main event Bradley's had a nice little rivalry throughout my whole thing. But I've had the most matches I've had with anybody with William Blackwell. And we told a pretty cool little story. So like my very first death match, well, I did want my very first death match. I only managed because it was Brad Breyer, main event Bradley and his brother, Brad Breyer Skimahorn against Deadly Dale and his dad, the Enforcer, and I was just managing. And in a match that I'm managing, I take the nacho cheese to the eyes. I take the Sabu chair. I lay there. That's the video that I get fucking skewered, gusset plates. And then, so that was like my first time I said I can do anything in it. So I did that, but my first official one, whenever I actually wrestled in it, was with K Toomer. I don't know if you saw that match. It was at TAC. You should look up TAC Wrestling. They're fucking badass, and they have a bunch of their shit on YouTube. I'll send it over to you. The YouTube channel they're on is called the Projection Box. There's a dude named Brian Webb. He went to Full Sail, fucking legit. But my first official death match was there at TAC. And it was with K Toomer, and the thing was, I was already feeling like my body couldn't really keep up, like continuing to wrestle. And I was like, fuck it, like I don't care to ref or do whatever else. Like, and I thought, well, I mean, if I'm gonna go out, I want to try and do some kind of death match. And it was their very first show. And like the old cliche, that was my first retirement match. Because I went out there and fucking bled like a stuck pig. But then I said, damn it. Now I can actually like do some of this shit, so I have an obligation. So I knew I had some work to do. And me and William Blackwell had a fucking cool storyline. Like I was out there announcing, and he comes out, Sabu's me with a chair, puts me up in the ropes. Then my nephew me that night. My nephew ran in there, was like, no, no. Then bam, like my nephew looks just like me, so you can tell he's probably related to me. Fucking laid him out in the ring, and the fucking crowd was wild, and so that was I'm usually a one-off type of motherfucker. Like I'm just gonna come to your show and work a match just because I'm just that way. But that was probably my best rivalry where we really like built it and went through it and yada yada yada.
Oh yeah. So this part of the video is what we call shoot style, baby. So if you want to get anything off your chest, say anything, whatever, shoot on anything, call out anybody, do whatever.
Okay, all right. Listen, it hasn't been easy trying to get some deathmatch shit going in Arkansas. Uh, mm, uh, so I've always had a nice rapport with the Arkansas wrestling scene, in my opinion. And so I've worked really hard, a nice little name. Problem is, when you really start to, I guess you can call it going into business for yourself, but like anything I've ever done, I'm trying to like move some shit forward. So if someone has a problem with that, they can just keep doing what they're doing. But like I said, there's enough room for everybody to, there's tons of styles, tons of shit that we can all bring to the table, baby. And so it was kind of weird once I started kind of popping my own stuff off and running my own things. A lot of the people wasn't supporting it as much, and I always felt like, man, I helped everybody else out a lot, and I have been helping everybody. And I mean, if it's unconditional, you can't think about stuff like that, And I never
Sure.
did. I'm gonna show up and do my job, whatever it was, and so and this is just a consider this shit like a PSA. Whatever the fuck you want to do. I mean, pay your dues. We never stop paying our dues. Pay your dues. Do whatever the fuck you got to do. You know what I
That's
mean? But
right.
like, once you get your feet up under you, we all have the right to bring our own flavor and do our own thing. And that's kind of the magic about what we do, is because we all bring our own personality, our own tools and tricks and tips and all that bullshit. But like, if someone doesn't want you to do what you want to do, they're not really fucking with you.
And fuck
So
'em.
just know, do whatever do whatever you believe in,
That's
because
right.
when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, if you're not doing what you believe in, you're not doing what you want to do to the best of your ability. You never fucking will. And eventually, once people really start to see a vision, shit might change up. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yes,
but
sir.
at the end of the day, whatever you believe in, whatever you want to do, you got the fucking freedom to do it. So you see everybody bringing their different styles and different presentations and shit together. There's enough room for everybody. And if someone doesn't like it, obviously you don't gotta fuck with it. But we all got different shit. And I say, if you ain't trying to like help somebody out, stay in your own fucking lane. But there's a big world out there, and there's a lot of motherfuckers that want to fuck with everybody's shit. So
Exactly.
don't give up on what you believe in and just keep doing your fucking thing. Because it's a hard lesson to learn, especially whenever it comes down to like personal shit being personal. You know what I'm saying? And like shit that actually affects your life. We put a lot of time and effort into this stuff. So yeah, we gotta fucking stand 10 toes tall,
Yes,
because
sir.
once you start to let that shit down, motherfucker's gonna ride you till you can't go no more. So as long as you're doing your thing, you're not going wrong,
I understand that. I thank you for your time, Sleazy.
bro.
And
I appreciate you guys, Sloth, Skinny
if you
Moose.
ever want to come back on, just let us know.
Oh,